Chef Gregory León and his husband, Ori León, have managed to pull off the unthinkable. New resident, new cooking scene from another city and opening a restaurant in 3 short years here in Milwaukee. It's Chef Talk with Kyle Cherek and Greg León here at Amilinda.
Thanks.
What's with busy streets? Your pop-up was on a busy street, very, very pedestrian.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a busy street here where people don't really think to put restaurants until recently because it would have been the kiss of death on Wisconsin Avenue.
That's what everybody tells us. We
Yeah.
keep getting a lot of our neighbors who have been here for a while. The 2 shops across the street have been around, I think, for like 20 years. And they're like, we're so glad somebody finally opened something like this here. I like the hustle and bustle of the city.
So was it part of the business plan, like we want to be on a busy street, we like Wisconsin Avenue, we want to be downtown, we don't want to...
Downtown was never what we wanted to be. We were Walker's Point all the way.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, we just were walking by the space one day and saw the hood in the window. And I was like, oh, there's a for lease sign and there's a hood. We don't have the money, but we can at least call. And that's literally how we picked the space.
That's totally unromantic.
I know. But there's something kind of cool about being in the right place at the right time. We were supposed to walk by this space that day.
So everybody's answer for this is different, but how challenging or unchallenging was self-determination for you?
Not very challenging. And I don't mean to sound like I have a huge head, because I would like to feel, I hope I'm fairly modest, but when the food that we were going to do here never worried me. I was never worried that that people were going to come in and be like, oh, what is this? This is a little weird, or I don't like it. But there were days when I would look at all these hurdles and I'm like, oh, this is just not going to happen. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to deal with the city one more time, or I don't, another fucking permit. And so there were a few days that it was like, I'm like, I just want to stay home. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe I should do something else for a living. And Ori was like, well, I'm not even listening to what you have to say right now. He's like, because you know it's wrong. You're just mad or bummed out right now. Just let it go and you'll be fine. And it would pass.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wake up in the morning at 6. I'm like, okay, let's go. And I've had to make myself not come to the restaurant the days we're closed. Because I'm like, I just need to be there. I have to be there because there's something needs to be done. We need to do something today. And I have to make sure that I'm not here all the time.
You moved from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You cooked around.
Mm-hmm.
You did pop-ups, which are not usually cash cows. Like, no one's buying their lake home on the business they make off of a pop-up once a week.
No, not at all.
And then you managed to take all of that and spool it up into something where you could open a restaurant.
We had a vision, a dream. This is something that I've thought about for 20 years. And there were times when I was like, oh, this is just never going to happen. Like the day we saw the spot the first time. The first time we saw the spot, that morning I was like, oh, what are we going to do next? Because we're not raising as much money as we thought we would. We're never going to find a spot. And Ori was the one who was like, no, it'll happen, just keep going, just keep going. It was hard not to get a little disappointed every now and then. And even when we signed the lease and we had not a lot of money in the bank. Like, we signed the lease and like, okay, now what do we do? Even my dad said that, sign the lease, the rest will happen. So we have a lot of support from really great friends and family. And so we have a friend who's in the restaurant business also here in Milwaukee, and we called her up and we're like, we found this space, we want to sign the lease, we need this much, can you help us? And she was at our house a couple hours later with a check.
Bridge loan.
She has told us you don't really have to repay it back ever.
Wow. That happens in other places in business, but I think it happens in a restaurant more often.
I have to say, for me, it was quite surprising. Coming from a city like San Francisco that's very competitive, I never felt like there was a sense of community amongst the chefs. Maybe I was just a lonely line cook while I was there, I don't know. But here, I really feel like a lot of chefs help each other. But yeah, if it wasn't because of the help and support of a lot of people around us, I can cook great food and Ori was great decorating it, but we needed a lot of manpower and a lot of people stepped up to the plate to help us do this.